Do you know what actually happened at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum on March 18, 1990? From start to finish, the biggest art heist in modern history lasted just 81 minutes. How did the thieves manage to get into the museum? Stick on as we are going to unravel the incredible story of the biggest art robbery ever. In the early morning hours of March 18, 1990, around 1:20 a.m., two men drove to the side entrance, parked, and walked to the side door. The museum guards on duty that night were Rick Abbott, age 23, and Randy Heston, age 25. Abbott was a regular night watchman, but March 18th was Heston's first time on the night shift. The museum's security policy required that one guard would patrol the galleries with a flashlight and walkie-talkie, while the other would sit at the security desk. When Abbott took the first patrol, fire alarms sounded in several rooms, but he could not locate any fire or smoke. He returned to the security room, where the fire alarm control panel indicated smoke in multiple rooms. He assumed that some type of malfunction had occurred and disabled the panel before returning to his patrol. Before completing his rounds, Abbott stopped at the side entrance of the museum, briefly opening the side door and shutting it again without informing Heston. Abbott returned to the security desk. The two men rang the buzzer, which connected them to Abbott through an intercom. They explained to Abbott that they were police investigating a disturbance and that they must be admitted. Abbott could see them on the closed-circuit television wearing what appeared to be police uniforms. He was not aware of any disturbance, but he surmised that a St. Patrick's Day reveler may have climbed over the fence, causing someone to report it to the police. Abbott admitted the men. The thieves first entered a locked foyer that separated the side door from the museum. They approached Abbott at the security desk and asked if anyone else was in the museum. Abbott radioed Heston to return to the security desk. Abbott noticed around this time that the taller man's mustache appeared to be fake. The shorter man told Abbott that he looked familiar and that they may have a warrant for his arrest, demanding that Abbott emerge from behind the desk to provide identification. Abbott compiled, leaving the desk that contained the museum's only panic button to alert police. The shorter man forced Abbott against a wall, spread his legs, and handcuffed him. Heston walked into the room around this time, and the taller thief turned him toward the wall and handcuffed him. The criminals then announced, "Gentlemen, this is a robbery." The thieves examined the guards' wallets and threatened that they knew where the guards lived and told them that if they did not inform the authorities, they would receive a reward in about a year. It took the thieves less than 15 minutes to subdue the guards, which they completed at about 1:35 a.m. The thieves' movements through the museum were recorded on infrared motion detectors. As the thieves approached the paintings in the Dutch room, a sensor sounded that was intended to alert when patrons moved too close to artwork, and the thieves smashed the device. They removed "The Storm on the Sea of Galilee" and "A Lady and Gentleman in Black" from the wall, and threw them on the marble floor, shattering their glass frames. Using a blade, they cut the canvases out of their stretchers. They also removed a large Rembrandt self-portrait oil painting from the wall, but left it leaning against a cabinet. Investigators believe that the thieves may have considered it too large to transport, potentially because it was painted on wood and not canvas like the others. The thieves instead took a small postage stamp-sized self-portrait etching by Rembrandt on display beneath the larger portrait. They then removed "Landscape with Obelisk" and "The Concert" from their frames. Soon, both men were in the short gallery. From there, they took 5 Degas sketches from the room and the Chinese Guo. The last work stolen was Chez Tortoni from the Blue Room. The museum's motion detectors did not detect any motion within the Blue Room during the thieves' time in the building. The only footsteps detected in the room that night were Abbott's during the 2 times when he passed through the gallery on his earlier patrol. As they prepared to leave, the thieves checked the guards again and asked if they were comfortable. The thieves then moved to the security director's office, where they took the video cassettes that contained evidence of their entrance from the closed-circuit cameras as well as the data printouts from the motion-detecting equipment. The movement data was also captured on a hard drive, which remained untouched. The frame for Chez Tortoni was left at the security director's desk. The thieves then began to remove the artwork from the museum. The thieves made off with a staggering collection of art that's valued today at $500 million. The next guard shift arrived later in the morning and realized that something was amiss when they could not establish contact with anyone inside for admittance. They called the security director, who entered the building with his keys and found nobody at the watch desk before calling the police. The police searched the building and found the guards bound in the basement. It is said that the thieves likely succeeded due to canny planning, luck, and lax security. The case lacks strong physical evidence, and the FBI has largely depended on interrogations, undercover informants, and sting operations to collect information. It has focused primarily on the Boston Mafia, which was in the midst of an internal gang war during the period. One theory holds that gangster Bobby Donati organized the heist to negotiate for his caporegime's release from prison, and Donati was murdered 1 year after the robbery. Other accounts suggest that the paintings were stolen by a gang in Boston's Dorchester neighborhood, although these suspects deny involvement despite the fact that a sting operation resulted in several prison sentences. All have denied any knowledge or have provided leads that proved fruitless, despite the offer of reward money and reduced or canceled prison sentences if they had disclosed information leading to recovery of the artworks. The museum might still be missing its beloved Rembrandt van Rijn and Johannes Vermeer paintings, but the names of the perpetrators of the notorious crime have finally been released. The two robbers were George Reisfelder and Lenny DiMuzio, both of whom died within a year of the heist. The two men belonged to the crew of local criminal Carmelo Merlino, who was first mentioned in connection with the 25-year-old robbery way back in 1992. Reisfelder and DiMuzio have also been suspects in the case for many years, but their role in the burglary is only confirmed in 2015. Initially, the FBI announced that they had identified who was responsible and revealed details about the investigation over the years, but declined to name names. Reisfelder, a career criminal, was only free to comment the notorious crime because he was cleared of a murder charge in 1982. Thanks to his lawyer, John Kerry. Kerry was appointed by the court to defend Reisfelder during his appeal, after the other man involved in the killing gave a deathbed confession identifying another criminal as his accomplice. After Reisfelder was released, he and Kerry, then a candidate for lieutenant governor, went out for a celebratory beer, an occasion that made local newscasts. Before long, however, Reisfelder was back to his criminal ways, including the Gardner job. Kerry, of course, stayed on the straight and narrow. Merlino arranged the famous heist in which Reisfelder and DiMuzio dressed as Boston police officers in order to trick the night watchman into letting them in. Less than a year later, however, Reisfelder died from a drug overdose and DiMuzio was murdered, possibly because Merlino discovered a planned coup he was leading. The FBI believes that the artwork was moved through organized crime circles to Philadelphia, where the trail went cold around 2003. Now, authorities might be one step closer to solving it. Anthony Amore, chief of security for the Gardner Museum, says that a recent tipster prompted officials to take another look at the murder of career criminal Jimmy Marks, a known career criminal, because the killing may have possible links to the heist. The museum is offering a $10 million reward to anyone who provides information leading directly to the safe return of the stolen works. One mystery that is still unsolved is that the perpetrators stole masterpieces by Vermeer and Rembrandt, but left the most expensive painting in the building untouched. Why did they do that? What is the mystery behind the unsolved Gardner Museum art heist? And that wraps up today's content. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel.